Hi, welcome back to Ahead of the Curve. I'm your host, Dr. Megan Teed, and today I'm here with Carrie Green. Welcome, Carrie.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me again.
Carrie Green is the neuro babe. That's what she's known as her business. And you are Carrie Green on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carrie Green official. Yep.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. So if you want to find her, you can find her there. But today is going to be kind of let's see what happens type of episode. I have been craving just organic conversation with fellow schoolies and people who are also kind of in the professional realm of working with people who have scoliosis. So that's how this came to be. Carrie has also put together an awesome webinar for my clients who are in the Scoliosis Strength Collective to give them like a little bit of an intro as to why managing your nervous system is so important and understanding what the heck is going on in your body as far as that goes is super important in your healing journey. So excited to chat a little bit and just kind of see what happens. So Carrie, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your Scully journey up to this point?
Yeah, sure. So again, I'm Carrie Green. I'm a licensed therapist and coach. I work with high-performing women who have a lot of anxiety and trauma and nervous system dysregulation. And I'm also a spinal fusion warrior. So I was diagnosed in middle school and I wore a brace throughout middle school and high school. Headed off to college and got my spinal fusion about 2007. So I ran home from North Carolina and did it on one of my Christmas breaks, thinking that it was going to be no big deal. Spent that whole entire month recovering and just went off on my way back to college and was walking around campus like carrying books and a backpack. I just didn't know any of the things that I was supposed to be doing to take care of myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. So after my surgery, I ended up having a lot of like pain still and dysregulation just because I didn't really know anything yet. Um, but after a couple of years and through like my work as a nervous system coach and a therapist, kind of started learning how to take back control over my body through things like Schroth and like Pilates for scoliosis, and I did all the things. So I'm good now.
I
Here we are.
love to hear that. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Um, so you were a brace. How many years were you braced?
I oh, the memories are blurry, but I want to say it was like 5 years, maybe 5 years. I wore it at night, even though I was supposed to wear it 24/7. Um, but I really just wore it at night, and it was one of those that like Velcros in the back.
Ah,
It
okay.
was super uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you, I'm going to ask you some questions about bracing.
Yes.
Did you, like, kind of reflecting back on that, did you have any regrets for not wearing it as prescribed, or were you just like, this is kind of my way of taking control of things a little bit, and having that
It's
piece of,
hard. Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't really get what it was for at the time, so I wouldn't say I don't know if I regret it
yeah,
necessarily. I think if I had known more and like the thing that they told me, this was a long time ago. So what they told me about the brace was that it was just gonna like make it not get worse, but nobody was really pushing the benefit of any ideas around like correction.
mhm,
So in my mind, I was just like, all right, well, if I wear it at night, then
yeah,
I'll be fine.
yeah,
But if I wish I had more information, I would say,
yeah,
to make like better decisions.
yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Think, for me as a therapist, sometimes it can be nice to talk to somebody who's gone through that, because a lot of times it's a hard conversation to have with a child who's going through it, and unfortunately it does tend to default to conversations with the parents and emphasizing the importance of things, because you know the children can have a hard time grasping um the weight of the situation and how important certain things are. So I think it's good to hear your input on that, and that, like, yeah, those conversations are super important to also have with the person who is enduring the treatment.
100%. Like I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew it was serious. I
Mm.
definitely knew it was serious. So part of, I mean, I was young too. So my mom was confused and I'm confused and my nervous system really wanted to like dissociate from this experience and think about it the least amount of time possible. So I
Yeah.
really like only was thinking about scoliosis when I was in pain, which over time ended up being more and more.
Mhm.
And then also at like doctor's appointments, but I was
Yeah.
never really like sitting down. Oh, I should wear this brace because things will get better for me. Like I didn't see any hope whatsoever because nobody was giving it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's interesting. And when you were an adolescent, did you do like any sports or anything? Or were you, yeah,
Yeah.
remind me, were you swimmers?
I
Only
was
before, and I can't remember.
yeah, I swim for fun because I my dad had a house at the Jersey Shore, so I would spend summers there. So that I did swim. They told me to swim. That was one of the prescriptions. But I did all the sports. I did soccer, I did horseback riding. My big one was cheerleading, so I was a competitive cheerleader. And I always wonder like what that was doing to my scoliosis because I was a catcher.
Ah,
Yeah, so I spent many, many years catching.
mhm.
And so you know, like the whole we have no proprioception, obviously. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So something that was hard for me was trying to catch. And I would feel like, oh my, I would just like close my eyes and put my arms out. Like it was so bad. There was so many things. Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. I'm just like, all right, they put me in the back. I'm the tall one. Just closing my eyes, putting my arms out.
That is crazy. Did you ever drop anybody?
Not no, like, thank goodness there was no injuries, but it was a constant fear. Yeah.
Did you ever have any conversations with like the people you were on team with later in life and say like, hey, like, by the way, I was closing my eyes when I was supposed to be catching?
Oh, you know, if I ever like see any of my high school cheerleading friends, I'm definitely going to talk to them about that. Yeah.
It's so funny.
That was
Uh,
all sports though. Like I played softball and I would do the same thing kind of like when I was catching and just close my eyes and put the mitt out.
I feel like I kind of might do that too.
Really?
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, because I remember I've been kind of trying to learn golf. My husband is a golf professional and he teaches, and learning from your husband's a really good idea.
That sounds
No, he's a
fun.
good he's a good instructor. But I'm pretty sure that I was kind of closing my eyes a little bit too when I was going to hit the ball. So I wonder if that's
Yeah.
very curious.
I'm interested in that. Like because I remember I would be like, oh, I'm not a good athlete. I don't know how I'm
Mhm.
not good at catching or whatever. But other people don't do that.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Don't do that. They're so confident. Yeah, there's gotta be there's something. We gotta
Like,
find
and even
something.
with volleyball, I'm pretty sure I was doing that too. Like,
I
oh
do it in volleyball.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Huh.
bracing to like be a hit.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Well, I might have to do a little investigation on that, but I'm
Huh.
sure it has something to do with having poor body awareness or
Yeah.
proprioception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, body awareness, I have pretty good body awareness, so I don't know if
But I
that.
guess if you like don't know where your body is in space and there's something coming at you,
Yeah.
maybe your brain is like, well, it's gonna hit you, so close your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Or
ready. Get ready. Yeah. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Mm.
Um, so I told you before we started recording that I had a couple of things that I wanted to hit on today, or not, no pun intended, pun intended. Um, touch on. One of those is kinesiophobia. And do you know much about that at all?
No.
Okay.
What is that?
So let me actually just like pull up the definition, but I think that you'll find this interesting. Uh-oh, where to go? Mm. Okay. So the reason this came up, it's just been coming up quite a bit over the course of the past couple months, but um one of the things that constantly comes up with my clients or like people that follow me on Instagram, they'll send me messages about like, can I do this? I was told that I can't jump with
Mm,
scoliosis. Like I was told I can't do this, can't do that. And then this kinesiophobia, I believe, develops with a ton of people who have scoliosis or spinal fusion as well. And um, this woman who's a Pilates instructor, Kim, and her last name is escaping me right now. She, oh, I'll make sure that I put this in the show notes. She was talking about how this is a big problem for a lot of clients who have gone through like Pilates training and stuff, because Pilates is kind of similar in that like you have to move in this particular way, and like lifting weights, is a little bit of a like back and forth as far as like how Pilates people view strength training and stuff like that. So she was talking about kinesiophobia, and I sent her a message about something called the Tampa scale. So, kinesiophobia, um, oh goodness, where did the definition go? So basically, it's a fear of exercise, but it's like an
Oh.
irrational fear of
Mhm.
exercise and movement. And it usually is like higher in its occurrence with patients or people who have like chronic musculoskeletal pain. And then also people who have fibromyalgia. And they actually specifically um, point out and um, highlight people who have idiopathic scoliosis who are supposed to go undergo spinal fusion.
Okay.
So, my question to you, with all of that roundabout information,
I'm I'm downloading. I'm downloading.
um, have you gone through a period in your life where, like, you were obviously in all these activities and all these sports, like, did you go through a period where you were like afraid of movement, or like, are you currently in a period that's kind of like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not in it now,
Mm,
but there are times I know that I have been. I don't think it's like phobic. I'm not like, I've never been like phobic of it.
mhm.
But what happens, like, okay, so like nervous system wise, all it takes is hearing one comment somewhere
Yeah.
from some random person, doesn't even matter who it was,
Mhm.
that if you do X, then Y. Or
Yeah.
someone with scoliosis like shouldn't twist, they shouldn't do
Mhm.
lift heavy weight, like, they just shouldn't. And so then what happens is like when you think about doing that thing, you start to get a lot of anxiety because your nervous system is like, oh, well, remember that time that person said that?
Right. Yeah.
So we're just like collecting more and more fearful messages
Hmm.
and assuming that the worst is going to happen if we do this thing. Now, when I follow through on doing things that I'm even like scared of or timid of, my body feels better,
Hmm.
right? When I'm being rigid and avoiding certain things, I'm tense, I have more pain. So
Yeah.
my experience is like I've gone through phases where I'm like, oh, maybe I should only do my schooling exercises and that's it. Maybe I should run a little bit less. It
Hmm.
gets worse for me. This is
Yeah.
my personal experience.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then when I'm like, no, like that's not right. Just be yourself, do what you like, then I feel better again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like a big learning curve. And it's also been for me personally, like just, I think that after going through scoliosis specific training, for me, I think things got a bit worse for me in that
Mm.
I had this understanding from their lens as far as what is physiologically happening within my body. And a lot of the things that they were saying was making sense. Like, oh, like, if you do a lot of twisting, rotating
Yeah.
these things, you're loading your spine unevenly, and your spine is already unevenly loaded. That like creates this vicious cycle. The knowledge that I've, more recently been understanding and trying to put together for myself is things with it, especially when we're considering the spine. The spine, if only a few of the segments are able to move and bear the brunt of the movement within the spine, that's when we get a disc herniation. That's when we
Yeah.
get arthritis. And I feel that that is a little bit of what is encouraged and perpetuated when we're restricting how much we're moving. So, like, if we're keeping a neutral spine all the time and
Hmm.
not actually exploring those movements of flexion, extension, side bending, and rotation that we need for life,
Right.
we're just making some of those situations possibly a bit worse. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know what your thoughts are on any of that, but like
Yeah.
it's been kind of like kind of back and forth trying to
Yeah.
reconcile these
It's
two things with each other.
yeah. Yeah, you're trying to figure out like what's real and not real. And that's funny that you say that because with a spinal fusion, they always say what you're saying, like don't try not to agitate the discs, the
Yeah.
vertebrae below the fusion. And so that's always been my biggest fear is like just make sure that you're not moving that part because if you do, they're gonna
Right.
degenerate. And so I've been doing a little experiment. Nobody quote me. I don't know if this is real. This is
Mhm.
literally just me going by like I touch the vertebrae under my right below my fusion because even just a couple of years after my fusion, they were kind of, how do you call it? They were like sticking out a little bit.
Okay. So they're
T12, like just T12 right under my fusion, which ends at 11, like was kind of coming out a little bit.
okay. So like a spondylolisthesis?
Maybe, or can it just like
Like
be,
cell blocks?
can a disc just like push out a little bit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah, like
just
a
pushing.
bulge a little bit.
Yeah, it was like bulging.
Yeah.
And so what I've been doing is more mobility in my lumbar spine. Because
Mm.
before I was so afraid of that. Like everyone was saying, it's working too hard, it's overworking, you need to just basically be a stick.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just be a stick. And this is just in the past year. I've been doing more of like trying to move every vertebrae in my lumbar spine and like can almost connect my brain to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I play around. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making stuff up. But I really think that even when I touch it now, it's not bulging as much.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, so we were just talking about how people with scoliosis have poor proprioception. Okay.
Hmm.
So how do you improve proprioception? You move in all the ranges of motion in all the different positions that you can. Like you're starting to build these brain maps
Yeah.
in your brain. Like right now, when you have poor proprioception, your maps, your body maps are really blurry.
Yeah.
So, so the way that you can improve that body map is by exploring movement in those areas. So if we're always keeping our spine in neutral, that brain map is going to be pretty blurry.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just intuitively doing that is pretty cool.
I like to think so.
And I feel, I mean, I definitely feel this in my own body. Like I'm kind of afraid to even like say this in a podcast because
Mm,
people come after me, like, yell at me for saying this, but I truly do feel best when I'm exploring those rotational movements and like just exploring movement in general in all planes of motion. Like
yeah.
that's what my body thrives in.
Hmm.
And it makes sense that you're teaching your spine to be able to bear the load all throughout the spine instead of just a couple of segments, having that awareness
Yeah.
to bear that load.
Yeah. And I mean, do you know, like, do you have a way for yourself to know when to stop, if that makes sense? Like, do you feel your body is sort of like yelling at you if you're exploring something? Like,
Yeah,
okay, now we stop.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
don't
for
do that.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely I don't go like to like the max end range of motion with stuff.
Right.
Like just kind of,
It's a microscopic.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'll move a little bit further and a little bit further, and if it doesn't feel good, then I stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, just kind of incrementally going into those ranges. But yeah, it's so my next question about this is has to do with the body like kind of storing like energy and trauma and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And in your experience, are there certain movements that help to release some of those emotions in the body?
Yeah, and yes, so many. There's so many. One of the ones for me that helped, it's like I can't really oh, well, you do a video too, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. So I always felt very caged into my body, probably memories of the brace.
Mhm.
Also feeling like a fusion is somewhat of a cage,
Yeah.
and some fear too because of what you and I are talking about right now, feeling like you have to be like a pencil, like don't move too much. So I always felt like trapped.
Mhm.
And so one of the moves, the somatic moves that I use to regulate the nervous system, this one is called butterfly, and it changed so much for me because it felt like it's like a heart opener, and it have you done butterfly? I know you do
Mhm.
neurofit sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
This just made me feel so free, just like going like this and exhaling and opening my arms repeatedly. It felt like the tension here was melting away. Um, I definitely believe in like we store emotions in our shoulders and our hips and all of that. And I had just like the most intense football player shoulders you could ever like the tight, and then there was nothing I could do. Like it just would never, like I could get all the massages, I could do all the fascial release with my ball, and it
Mhm.
would not go anywhere. Actually, I will tell you more that I was like losing my hearing in one ear because I had so much tension that it was pulling my ear down.
Wow.
Yeah. But I started doing butterfly every day and it's all, I don't mean, I can't say it's just from that, but I don't feel any of that really anymore, just here and there.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I I know that, we tend to hyper focus on the musculoskeletal system, so our muscles and our bones, especially like when we're feeling tension and pain. But there is so much happening beneath the surface as far as that goes. Like your organs are like any other joint in your body. Like they lay on top of each other and they act as a joint and they need to slide and glide over top of each other. And how
Mm-hmm.
are you going to get that movement if you are staying so rigid
Right.
in your body? And we wonder why we have so many digestive issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Related to
Oh
the
my
spinal
gosh.
fusion.
When people start doing like massaging their enteric nervous system, like a stomach massage, they say they start to feel so relaxed because
Yeah.
we hold on so much tension.
Yeah.
We're like grip like right now, we're probably gripping our
Yeah.
stomachs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like a female thing
Yeah,
too.
totally. Yeah.
Oh, we got to fit in our skinny jeans, we got flat stomach, so we walk around squeezing our glutes and our abs all day long, and that
Oh
is
my gosh. My mom told me, and I forgive her, but she told me
yes.
when I was in middle school, like just suck in your stomach forever and ever, basically, and then it will
Yeah.
never, it will never get bigger. So I've been just following that rule for
Oh,
since
I,
middle
I
school.
guarantee like the people listening are probably like, yeah, me
Yeah, me
too.
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is very perpetuated all throughout society. It's not just your mom.
Hmm. Hmm. So, and another thing you asked about the emotions, like, so you can feel, imagine somebody upsets you,
Mhm.
they make you mad, or somebody like dysregulates you, they give you anxiety because they're being annoying or they're crossing your boundaries. Like,
Mhm.
you can feel your body clench up in certain areas right away, even if you're not everyone's like aware of that. But if you really look back and
Mhm.
think of that, like that's you can start to notice it's happening right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I've had experiences where like when I'm under like an immense amount of stress, I can feel my back actually tightening up in
Mm-hmm.
response to it. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting how the body is like trying to protect you and is bracing for this, really like either sucker punch or an
Yeah.
animal to be chasing you, something like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, when you don't release that, I just can only imagine all the crazy things that happen. So,
Yeah. Did you have a lot of like pain in with your scoliosis journey?
thankfully, no.
Mm,
I've always been a mover. Like I grew up dancing ballet and my mom is actually a Pilates instructor. So I've done a lot of Pilates in my life and I was doing Pilates without rules,
okay.
like scoliosis rules for
Hmm.
a time.
Hmm.
And that helped me feel really awesome in my body. And like even now, I think the times that I've experienced the most discomfort in my body were when I was sitting more often. So
Yeah.
in graduate school, I felt like that was a time when my curve really progressed because I was exercising a little bit less and sitting for hours studying and lecture and stuff
Hmm.
and had no awareness of where I was. And
Yeah.
it felt like my rotation increased quite a bit, but I wasn't super monitoring my curve. Like I can't remember the last time I had an x-ray or anything. So,
Hmm. Can
yeah.
you like, isn't that so crazy to look back and think about times when we really sat for 8 hours straight or more?
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
it was
mind blowing.
forced upon
What?
I said it was pretty much forced upon us and
Right. It was forced upon us.
you can't like get up and move around during lecture. Who does that?
Oh my God, I can't believe we did that. Anyone listening, please take breaks. Please take breaks. Like, just if you do anything at all, just please
Yeah. Like
take
even
breaks.
in PT school. I mean, for goodness sakes, we're learning about all of the things that are supposed to be good for you, for your
Yeah.
body. And we would spend
You're
hours
sitting in the
lunch.
chair watching the the instructor. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm,
we would have some labs and stuff, but that wasn't all of
yeah.
our lectures.
Right. Oh gosh. I actually quit my like one of the reasons I made the leap, quitting my
Mhm.
full-time job
Yeah.
to do full-time like therapy practice and coaching was because of that. Because during COVID, I got to finally, that was what allowed me to experience
Mm.
not sitting all day. Like, yeah, I'm working all day, but I'm not sitting all day. And
Yeah.
then when they asked us to come back, I was like, I
No.
cannot. Like I went there one time and I sat all day and I was in so much more pain. So I was like, I need to make my exit strategy. Like I cannot live like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So were you were doing counseling then too, right?
Yeah. I was working for a mental health agency, like supervising other therapists. Yeah.
Mm. So
Hmm.
yeah, not a whole lot of flexibility to get up and move around, I guess.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think we'll kind of like wrap up here. I want to wrap up with like sharing something maybe you're looking forward to in the next week or month or so.
Ooh, something I'm looking forward to. Um, well, this is work related.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to gonna start coaching the NeuroFit training calls.
Yay!
Yeah. This is so
Exciting.
exciting. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. When does that start?
That starts I'm gonna do that in April.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. And that's something you can do remotely, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Very.
But what am I looking forward to that's fun, Meg? This is not good. I can't think of anything. What's yours?
I am looking forward to, so I started up a girls' night in my neighborhood and with in my friend group. So, um, we last month we did it for the first time and it's just going to be a monthly thing. Last Friday of the month, people come over. I'll have some like wine, tea, appetizers, whatever, and just come and hang out. And I had like 6 people come. So I'm just looking forward to getting
Oh,
back into like a rhythm of being
yeah.
social and being in community with people because let's face it, COVID completely destroyed my social life. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just
Oh,
got very used to being in my house, being
mhm.
with my husband, you know, going
Yeah.
to the pool maybe. And that was really like we were just so lame for a
Oh
long
my gosh. Yeah.
time. I'm looking forward to that.
That's so fun. Oh, that reminds me, I do have a friend coming in April. I do have a life. That's right. Okay. I don't feel so bad now. That's right. That's
I
right.
also put you on the spot, so sorry about
Oh,
that.
no, no, that's okay. I was just like, wait, there's got to be something. Oh, how's the jump rope going?
Oh, it's coming along. This is my fourth week jump roping. So I'm
So
like
fun.
following a little tutorial, like how to, it's a free thing from this guy's coach Chris. And I went through, it was like a 2 week boot camp. You learn a new skill every day. And then now I'm trying to put some of those things into like combos and stuff. So it's very frustrating.
I
I'm not
love it.
gonna lie.
It's
It's really,
frustrating?
it's frustrating. I mean, you like hit yourself with the rope all the time. Like you just like when
Oh,
you're trying to do something new and
right.
even when I'm doing something that I think I'm pretty good at, I get caught up here and there, and it's kind of annoying getting hit with a rope.
Well, oh, are you closing your eyes?
Probably.
You're probably, now I want to know, like, are you
I
like,
have to go back and watch my videos and
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
what was I probably?
yeah.
Probably like right before I get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
That's so
you make your, like, is your jump rope hard? Is that like rubber? I saw when in one of your videos it had
they're like little plastic beads
okay.
almost.
Yeah.
So they're called beaded ropes. So there's like a nice woven rope inside, and then you can adjust it so that it fits you. So I started out with it pretty long initially, and it was catching on the ground. And as I got a little bit more confident, I've shortened it a bit and taken some of the beads off. So
Awesome. I love it.
yeah. So with that said, yes, you can jump if you have scoliosis. I
Oh
literally just got
yeah.
that question before I hopped on this call, and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
she's like, "Oh, I'm in karate, and that involves a lot of jumping." And I was told we can't jump. You can jump. You can do anything your little heart desires with
Yes.
scoliosis. So
Okay, so we're gonna end every podcast with something that you can do,
yes,
reaffirming something you can do. Yes, today is you can jump. Everyone can jump this week.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this is another thing I'm looking forward to, these conversations with you and continuing to just hopefully provide people with some peace of mind and freedom to live their life with scoliosis and spinal fusion without being so scared.
Yes. Yes. We're gonna come to us and we'll take care of your fear.
Yes, yes, that
Yeah.
healing people one fear at a time.
One fear at a time. Yes. I love it. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. This was
You're
fun.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay well and stay ahead of the curve.